Well, I'd like to call the meeting to order. And
Oh, look at that, the official gavel.
look, they got the.
Oh, he has a gavel
watch
on.
out.
Oh man, all you need is a bell now.
Yeah, where is the bell?
I think it's a.
Ah, there he is, Esteban. Esteban is showing up.
Oh,
Where is he? My other published work, again, at the intersection.
Bob Finetch.
Yes, Mr. Martin, your video is not showing.
Uh-oh.
Turn your video on.
Here we go.
Bob Lahan wants to see the background so you can read your books.
I'll show you mine. If you look, there's mine up there. Take a look.
I got it going here. There we go.
There you go. Yes. Man alive. 9 people at a meeting.
that's
Look,
really
made it into
good.
the 21st century, huh?
Shoo.
Billy!
Yeah,
I missed you.
I don't see Steve. Where's Steve? I don't see him.
He's here.
Why do only 6 pictures appear on my screen?
Yeah, mine too.
Got to make the window bigger.
Okay.
You make the window bigger, everybody will show up.
Okay, there's Steve now. Yeah, got you going.
You got it now?
It cut the other guy out though.
Ah, well, we don't care about that guy.
It
Whoever
cut
it
me out.
was, we
Yeah,
don't care.
cut me out. I don't need me in there.
Well, as soon as you talk, you fill up the screen. So
Hey, Steve.
Okay.
Well, there's 2 different views. There's gallery screen and speaker's view. In speaker view, in the upper right-hand corner, just click on either speaker view or gallery view. And either in gallery view, you can see everybody. In speaker view, only the person speaking shows up.
Yep. Thanks.
It's a toggle in the upper right-hand corner.
oh yeah, that
This way you can see everybody at one time.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You got to make your window bigger, Bob.
The phone is kind of hard to make the window bigger.
Oh,
But
okay. Well, I thought
you
you
are
were
on the
looking at
screen.
your computer as
You
well.
are on the screen now. It does say Bob here, but I'm not getting a picture on Bob. Or maybe that's me.
Bob is you,
Lyle.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
now
Bob
I
Finetch.
got the
There you
gallery
are.
view.
Zenny comes on screen when she talks.
Well,
Okay.
no, I
well,
pressed
got
the
enough.
gallery, and now I have everybody.
you have
Okay,
gallery view up here. Okay.
Hello, Sharon. Hello, George.
Oh, there we all are. I'm shocked.
Yes. In our finery.
why don't we start the meeting off with introductions? Lion Bob, would you do the introductions?
Yeah, Lion Bob Finetch tail twister. I have $1 here, but nobody even collected.
I'll be right back.
Have a long
Lion
arm
Bill.
to reach us.
Lion Bill, you're next.
Lion Bill Graziano, officer, I guess. Screening.
Oh,
Lion Senny Lohan.
okay.
Lion Bob Lahan.
All right. George?
Lion George Soleil, president.
Lion Sharon?
Forgot his
What are you
name.
drinking, George?
Order, please. Order.
I haven't drinking enough. That's it.
I owe you all $1. Remember that.
Gabriela is joining us.
Lion Sharon?
Lion Sharon, board member, past president.
All right.
Oh, Bob's got his pin. Oh, boy. I mean, his badge, pardon me.
Yeah, okay. Lion Lyle?
I am Lion Law Workman. That's no lion.
Okay.
How about Steve?
We don't care about Steve.
Lion Steve Martin?
Hey, good evening.
Oh, here's Viella DuPont as
Oh, he's got
well.
his-
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
He's got his badge. Lion Joe?
Lion Joe
Where'd
Farrell.
it go, Steve?
I've got plaques and badges, pins, everything in the room.
Wow.
We'll pass them around.
There's them around. Okay, good, Joe. Who did I miss? Anybody? Zenaida? Or
No,
did you?
that's an item.
I did
Yeah.
introduce myself, but I
Viella,
can't see
Viella
Viella.
DuPont's online.
Yeah,
She'll,
can you hear me?
DuPont.
I can hear
We can
you,
hear
but
you.
your video's not on.
I don't know why.
Go in the lower left-hand corner. There should be a video button.
Oh, okay. Oh,
There
there
you
I
go.
am.
There you are.
Hello.
Just in time.
Hello, everybody.
Introductions. Okay.
Introduce yourself.
Me?
Yeah,
Yes.
Lion DuPont.
Okay, Viela DuPont, longtime Excelsior resident.
All right.
Excellent.
Excellent. Wow. Look at that. We got 10 people at a meeting.
This is more attendance than we get at the Italian American Club.
Absolutely. Very good. I'm
Nothing to do with
super
the food.
impressed. A couple more show up, we won't be able to handle it.
You've done a good job of guiding us through this, Lyle.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
I do what I can to who I can as often as possible.
Well, it's appreciated.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. Yes, it is.
good.
For the record, I sent a letter to Terry Lee, who's past due in his dues. So the letter went in the mail about a week ago.
Excellent.
Have you received anything yet?
I have not.
Okay.
I appreciate you sending it out, though. Official, unofficial. We're waiting for the president to get his stuff together so he can start going here.
It might be a while.
I didn't expect such a big crowd, you know?
The pressure's on now. The
I know.
pressure's on.
So I think we'll skip the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation. Does that sound good to everybody? Or
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Sounds very good.
But Lion Joe, could you fill us in on any correspondence?
There's been none since the last meeting.
Okay. I know I received this Saturday, there's the fourth cabinet meeting. Said fourth, but anyway, it's the cabinet meeting. It's at 2 p.m. on Saturday. And you just go online and it's another Zoom meeting. They have enough spots for 430 people.
Yeah, I think it's a go to webinar or go to meeting.
Okay.
It's a little different format.
But if anybody needs the information on that, let me know and I'll send it to you. Okay. I know that was exciting.
Yeah,
No, that's good to know.
That's the board meeting that was supposed to happen at the convention.
Right.
right.
Right. The cabinet meeting, not the board meeting.
Or the cabinet meeting, yeah, the cabinet meeting was supposed to happen at the convention.
Right. Then the Warriors basketball team sent us an email. They want to know if we all want to go to a Warriors game. So that'll be interesting to see if it even happens this season. So, or if there'll be people in attendance.
Yeah.
I wonder how they got a hold of us, George.
I think they probably sent it to all the Lions clubs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did they offer us a package or anything? And
Well, they gave us a number to give them a call. So I don't know if that would be of interest to anybody here or.
Yeah, it would be interesting to just a new arena.
Yeah,
We'd
yeah.
have to sit 6 feet apart, but that's all right.
We could meet at the yacht club prior.
Well, you
Yeah.
know,
Hey, there we go.
Maybe we'll
Meet
get
at the
plastic.
yacht club and walk over. We can handle it.
We could handle it.
right.
But just to see what they would say.
Okay, I'll give them a call. I don't know that we have a lot to talk about. The youth community's all done. You don't have anything on that, do you, Lyle?
It's a done deal. Haven't had any problems so far. I had one check returned from the mail, and I have since gotten that straightened out. So everything should be good as far as I know. There could be some uncashed checks, but that's not unusual.
You gave me one for Santa Claus to the Los Bomberos. I contacted them and the new, excuse me, lady who's in charge of it, and we'll just let it work its way through the system.
Okay. Sounds good.
Excellent.
Bob Lahan, I'm still going to ask you, have you gotten us a date for the next crab feed?
No, I haven't. It's a little difficult to call the church right now because I guess I could send Father John an email to see, what he's doing over there.
Yeah.
We want a date as late as we can in February, right?
Yeah, end of February, the last Saturday of February.
Yeah.
Last Saturday in February, right.
Okay,
It's
Give
it a
right
shot.
around there. Right around there, yeah.
I will
I don't know
write
what
myself
Friday.
a fantastic note here.
It's conflicting with Lent. No matter where Lent is, I don't know.
Well, that was the last time because the last Friday was 29 and Ash Wednesday was 27. The last Saturday, but anyhow, I don't even know when. We had an early.
February 8th, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, we had it February the 8th, but we could have had it 2 days. We wanted it 2 weeks past that, but we got into the conflict with Lent. So
Yeah.
let me find out when Lent starts.
Yeah.
It should be later this year because it was earlier next year, and we'll.
I clean my lint trap out every time I use it.
It was early. Lent
I
was
have a
very
couple
early.
things. I have a couple traps you can come and clean.
That's George's job.
Yeah.
We were lucky to get the crab feed in with this COVID-19,
Well, yeah.
We're
Well, let's
lucky to
find
get it in.
out.
We got it in under the wire.
Yeah. It's a good thing we didn't have anybody coming in from China. They wouldn't have been able to come.
Oh,
If we get a second wave, we could think big and actually just deliver.
that ain't gonna happen.
Well, I'm serious. If people are going to spend money to fundraise, and if God forbid we get a second wave, so we could cook it, prepare it, and
I can certainly agree with you, Steve. It may come to a point where we really need to rethink some of our fundraising. We only have 3 fundraising events right now, whereas we used to have a lot more.
yeah.
But I mean, that goes back quite a ways.
We had a lot more people too, Lyle.
Yeah, we had a lot more people. That's right, and a lot more active people.
Yeah, there you go.
Active, and that's why I appreciate the history section and the pictures, and I think people still want to contribute to service organizations and be part of a community, and just kind of keep that in mind because it could be easy. It could be easier than it sounds.
It sounds good. I mean, you prepare the food, you put it in a bag with all the goodies, and then drop it on their porch, and
yeah,
all prepaid.
Everyone feels good.
Well, you have curbside pickup. Make them come and get it.
Yeah. Well, even better. Yeah.
That's even better.
Good idea.
Yeah.
See if we can
Come and pick it up.
Come and pick it up.
Or
And
that would be
you
good.
can have a few deliveries, but the majority, you're want to encourage to come and pick up your dinner.
Exactly. And if we can use the church kitchen, all the better. They can come and say a prayer and light a candle and
use the kitchen. They've got the parking to drive the cars through. That could be handled there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if they want it delivered, we could DoorDash it.
Yeah.
I'm sure we could for an extra,
Well,
Okay,
That's an idea, Steve.
Billy, if Billy's riding shotgun, anything's possible.
Right.
Just don't let them try.
After our Costco beach landing a couple years ago, holy Christ. Anyway, so hey, no, I think it's a great idea.
Excellent.
Not my idea, but just thinking.
Plan
about it.
B.
It was great. You should take credit for How about football? Do we know if we're going to have football this year?
Well, supposedly they're putting together the season. The schedules are out. I really haven't looked at it yet, but probably beginning of next month, I'll be sending out an email to all the players. Probably 80% of the players now. I send the information to them by email. There's 10 or 15 people that I mail stuff to, which is not a problem. It's become streamlined quite a bit, and it pretty much runs by itself. So I think we're good as long as the 49ers are going to play. But we won't know anything until at least next month.
Yeah. Well, I imagine they got to play, because everybody's sort of going through sports withdrawals.
I agree with you there. There could be some pretty good demand, but that's hard to tell.
Yeah, but the players don't like the deal that the NFL is proposing.
Yeah, well,
we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But as long as we're prepared to, send things out, we got it. We know where our people are and who gets an email and who gets. We just have to wait until the Niners and the NFL say, "All right, play ball." No, that's baseball. And kick the ball off, and then we'll be able to go at it. Less games, though.
I don't know. It all depends on how it works out. We'll have to wait and see.
Okay, we'll take it. We'll adapt to it.
Everything's up in the air. It all depends on what King Newsom has to say.
I wouldn't.
Chairman Newsom.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Good correction.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Don't report me to the czar, please. The local czars are killer, man.
Yeah.
They'll come after you.
Oh, they will.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yep.
Well, this is definitely strange times. So
we're all here on a little itty bitty screen, so it's pretty strange.
George, do you want to get back to discussing the grants that the club annually makes?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the next thing on my agenda. So right now we have, if I understand this correctly, Balboa gets $1,800. That's what's we penciled in.
That's in the budget. Yes.
Right. And then Wilderness Camp 400.
Correct.
Clinic by the Bay 3,000. Teen Challenge 250. Lions Eye Foundation Patient Care 200. LCIF 1,000. And Diamond of Prayer 250.
That patient care line, that is a $200 monthly donation. So that is what is left in the budget for this year.
So
and that automatically gets taken out of our account every month.
So we would
as an auto debit. What was that?
You made a $2,400 donation to it.
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. The LCIF, that is what for the
Lions Club International Foundation.
Right. Oh, Lions Club. Okay.
Lions Club International Foundation. That's what that stands for.
Okay.
Is that the one, Lyle, where when we were in one of the Zoom meeting, a lady said that there's like a $10,000 balance in there that they're sitting on?
Yes. We have.
Good man.
I'll call them credits for lack of a better word.
True.
That we can award a particular type of membership or award to various members if we chose to.
Okay.
How do we do that?
Pardon me?
How do we do that? Where do we get the quote form to fill out to nominate?
It should be fairly easy to find. I'll take care of it because I'm going to have some suggestions at the next meeting.
Okay.
It will require no cash outlay from the club at all. These are merely credits for money we have donated over the years.
Hmm.
And this goes back a long ways.
So how does the recipient receive anything? It's if there are no cash outlay, it's just a
Well,
letter that's been.
it's a life membership in the Lions Club International Foundation. It's similar to a Melvin Jones Fellowship.
Okay.
Any of the fellowships that are available through the various organizations.
So it's an honorarium?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just an award. That's really what it amounts to.
Okay.
Okay.
So they keep the amounts there, except it's distributed to certain members or certain individuals.
This particular award is $1,000. Okay. If any member of our club wanted to give $1,000 to the LCIF, they would receive this honorarium in exchange or as a benefit of that donation. Okay, the club has donated over the years thousands of dollars, and we've never used any of the honorariums. So they are available to award to anybody.
Okay.
All we have to do is nominate the person, and bang, it's done. There you go.
Got it.
Something we should look into.
What was that?
Something we should look into.
Yes, I'll know more about it at the next meeting.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I think, Joe, you mentioned something that to me like this once. I'd heard about this.
Well, isn't there like you're talking about the Melvin Jones and things like that, right?
Yes.
That would be part of this.
I believe the LCIF award is the Melvin Jones Award.
Right. Oh.
I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure it is.
I know the first time I heard about that, $1,000, I said, wow, how could anybody give $1,000? And now you say that's only a couple weeks groceries.
Well,
Yeah.
over the years, on our club banner for many years, we had a number of Melvin Jones Fellows, probably a half a dozen or more of our club members over the years have become Melvin Jones Fellows. And they were pinned onto the banner for a long time. Suddenly they disappeared. I'm not sure where they went. Each of them had a little plaque that was attached to our club banner at meetings. And there also was one for the Lion's Eye Foundation and also one for Ear of the Lion. They're all similar types of awards. They're given in exchange for a particular dollar amount of a donation. The Lion's Eye Foundation, I think it was probably $1,000 as well. And Ear of the Lion, which we very seldom ever discuss anymore, I believe was $250, but I'm not sure about that. That goes back a long ways. I'm sure Joe Farrer knows a lot about that.
Not any more than you know, Lyle. Right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll know more next week or next meeting, board meeting.
Possibly, yes.
Excellent.
Yeah. The only reason I know a lot about all this stuff is I tend to work with I'm working with older items within our club. Steve Martin earlier in the meeting mentioned the club history pages and the photos. I have been I started that project in 2009. And I've worked on it fairly regularly through 2018. Late in 2018, I set it aside I was a little burned out, and I had a lot of other things going on. But recently, I've started working on it again, and I started in 1951, working on all the photos that we have. We have about 2,800 photos on our website, spread from 1950 to current. And I started back in 51, and I've been coming forward. And what I've been doing is retouching the photos, adding captions to the photos, and re-uploading them to the website. So if you were to look at the website in any of the years from 1950 through 1975, 76, all the photos have been redone with new captions. They're all captioned. As far as who all the people are, what the event was, as much as I can. There are a few people that I don't know who they are. They're too old, and really nobody currently a member knows who they are, or has forgotten, one of the two. And in doing so, there are a few years which I have complete sets of bulletins for that particular year. So I'm able to recreate by date and by function exactly what happened and when. And so all that is built into all the photos. The photos have dates, captions, the whole schmear, if you were to look at any of those. So it's some fun. Back in 2018, Lenny Faina sent me a bunch of photos that were Ron Faina's. And there weren't a lot, but there were maybe 25 or 30 photos. And the interesting part was a lot of the photos had actual dates on them.
Mm.
So I was able to fix a lot of, not errors, but photos that were in the wrong years. I was able to fix it. And Ron had photos going back to the late 50s.
Wow.
So, I scanned them all. They were all available on. Some of them were online, some of them weren't. But in the last, month or two, I kind of started working on them again, and I'm up to working on 1977, 78 right now. In 1978, 79, I believe Joe Farah was president that year, and I have his presidential scrapbook, which contained a lot of photos and a complete set of bulletins. So I'm able to
Courtesy of Chelsea Gorowicz.
Yeah, and I'm able to recreate the entire history of the club from that year using the photos and the bulletins. It's kind of our history book, so to speak. The bulletins are.
Yeah.
It doesn't give all the details, but it gives a lot of the details.
Joe, did you see the picture of Lyle's trying to figure out if it was Bud Coletti?
It was Bud Coletti. I can confirm that.
Bud Coletti.
And who's Bud Coletti? He was a member.
He's a member of the Italian American Club. So I have that picture.
Yeah.
When they meet again, I'll bring it to them.
The past president of the Italian American Club.
Right.
Also a member of our Lions Club.
Yes.
He and his partner, Fred Kroll, that had the machine shop behind Crester Brothers Auto Parts store, were both members of our Lions Club.
There were a lot of very active Lions in those years.
Yes.
Was he vocal as
right?
Mike Castanetto?
Was he what?
Nobody was.
Oh, vocal as Mike Castanetto. Yes, he was. as
Yeah.
far as I know. But the funny part was I believe I read the Lions Convention in Santa Rosa in 1978. There were 16 couples went to the convention.
Wow.
So we had at least 32 people at the convention.
Yeah, if you look at those old photos, you see a lot of people at the conventions dressed up in various costumes.
Oh yeah.
Each year was a specific theme. I mean, they were really nice costumes.
Oh yeah.
And people would sing and do skits.
They
Amazing.
worked real hard on that stuff.
Yeah, they had a lot of fun.
I just don't think that sort of stuff's done much anymore, though. You know?
Well, it still is, but it's on a much smaller scale. But they still have the costume parade and the talent contest and all that stuff.
Just did different.
Yeah, it's just
Different
it's
time.
just-
Oh well, we got sidetracked again. I'm sorry.
Yes,
I started talking and I
Yeah.
lost my mind.
Is anybody interested to know how Clinic by the Bay, what we're doing right now during the coronavirus?
Always interested.
Yes.
Okay, so we're still, there's only 3 of us that go to work. There's the clinic manager, Karen, and then we have an interpreter who's like, she's office support, Ileana, and myself. And we no longer have face-to-face appointments. They're all via telephone. And we don't know when we're going to restart having face-to-face appointments again, because most of our volunteer doctors are elderly and they are at high risk for the coronavirus. So none of them want to go to the clinic and volunteer and see patients one-on-one. But the telephone appointments we seem to be accomplishing a lot, making sure people have their medications and their prescriptions and health coaching. And we still do a lot of counseling, and that helps a lot of people. And every Wednesday and Friday, we give out free dinners to about 90 people.
Oh really?
Yes, they come
interesting.
and speaking of, dinners, so Janet Riley, who is a co-founder of the clinic, her husband and her, they own Credo restaurant downtown in the Merchant Exchange.
Nice.
And so they have donated this food. So
Nice.
we ask our patients if they need food. They call it food insecurity now. That's the term they use. And so if they say yes, then we try to set up an appointment. And so every Wednesday and Friday, we have them come and pick up their food. I do deliver some dinners myself to people who can't come out. It's very difficult. But it's really nice that we're able to do that. The patients are very, very thankful. These are hard times. And there's no limit to the amount of dinners that they can request. Some families, they have 8 dinners, some have 5, some just 2. And it's like a protein, like it's chicken, a vegetable, starch, salad, and fruit.
Wow.
So it's really nice. It's a feel-good type of thing to do. And you're helping people who are struggling right now. It must be really hard to have young kids right now during this coronavirus. So they're very thankful, and it's I don't know how long we're going to do it, but it takes a lot of work and coordination, because you got to call everybody, remind them. You have to confirm that they're going to pick it up, that type of stuff. So,
Question for you, Viela, concerning the older doctors. Do you know if they have been tested for the virus?
if they have, they've done it independently of the clinic. However, Dr. Goldschmidt wants the 3 of us who go to work to see if we have the antibodies or not. He wants the clinic to pay for that test. So there's no indication from our medical director when we're going to open up the clinic. It's still, he's very conservative. Plus our doctors are, over 60, in their 70s. and they're at high risk. So we're very conservative.
The reason I asked if they had their tests already is if they already have the coronavirus present in them, wouldn't that lower their risk?
I don't know, because I really don't know. This
If they have
coronavirus,
the virus already,
but I've heard of people being reinfected.
Yeah.
You know,
Talking about the
I don't know, you know, a relapse. I mean, this coronavirus seems to be able to zero in on any kind of weakness you have in your body and really destroy it. You know, it's weird how it expresses itself in so many different maladies once you get it, especially if you're at risk. You know?
Well, you're talking about the antibodies in your system.
well, antibodies or the virus
Yeah,
itself,
antibodies.
you know, whatever.
I don't
I'm
know
just
what they're
wondering
going to.
if
Yeah.
once you have it, are you kind of not going to get it anymore? Is my question.
They don't know a lot about
I
it.
don't think they know.
Yeah.
They
They
don't
I
know.
really don't think they know. I don't think I've
There's only
never
one
heard
guy that
anyone
knows.
say that. I know if you take vitamin D, it's good. Okay.
Hey, Bob, who's the guy that knows?
Trump.
Oh.
Must be the czar.
No, don't say Fauci. Don't say. Don't
I
say.
don't say Fauci.
We-
Fauci knows. Mm.
No,
Don't say the F
Whoever
word. Bob.
knows, they ain't telling. That's all. You know, whoever really knows what's going on ain't telling.
Right here.
no,
Guys
I
get your
heard.
letters?
So Viola, if somebody in the neighborhood feels symptoms
Did you get?
and
So we refer them to, there are different areas, there are different sites in San Francisco that you could go get tested for free.
There's some on Mission Street.
Yeah, you just call them. So we give them the number to call, and there's posters posted all over.
Serramonte High School on Serramonte Boulevard
Oh, yeah?
offering tests.
Yeah,
Yeah, they was on the news today or yesterday.
yeah.
There's
You
a
know,
couple places in the city. One is at Pier 3032, and
Yep.
the other one is on 7th Street.
Yeah,
7th and Bryant.
yeah.
Two places. But I think you have to have pre-existing condition, like say if you have a cough or something like that. You can't just go in on your own. And then you
No.
have to have a.
Right.
If you're an essential worker, you can
Yeah.
you just
Yeah,
go
you got
right.
it, right? Yeah.
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 Did you get yours, Steve?
You know, I'm an essential worker, but I don't
You
want to
go
go.
right in, yeah.
on.
What?
I haven't been tested.
Oh,
If there was a free antibody test down in the Mission, and I didn't go to it.
You could go to the ones at Pier 3032. That's all city workers.
Yeah, I may do it Saturday.
7th and, where do you work? Right across the street.
Yeah.
7th and Bryant.
yeah. You know, I'm not clear. So if you have the antibodies, okay, what does that mean? What does that really mean? I don't know.
Well, supposedly,
You've had the virus or you've gotten the virus.
Right.
And your body has produced these antibodies to fight it.
Yes, but is that, does that mean that you will never get it, or you're immune to it, or?
Well, I think that a lot of people have gotten this and
That's what they
have
use
gotten-
for the vaccine.
Yeah, well, a lot of people have gotten it and they've gotten over it, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's just like getting the cold. Some
Yeah.
people have.
Can I ask you a question? I want to ask you a question to everybody here.
Yeah.
Does anybody here in this Zoom room know anybody personally that has a COVID-19?
Yeah.
Or
No.
Steve?
Yeah. I worked right next to three guys
Okay.
that had it. And this was back in March. They never even told us till 2 weeks after. So
So they didn't have any bad symptoms or any reactions or anything. They just got over it.
oh no, one of the guys had a heart attack
Wow.
at work, and they took him out in a 408. The other guy tested positive soon after that. I think I told Bob this. and they didn't know what the hell to do. They didn't tell anybody anything until about a week or 10 days later. And, you know, a lot of us think we had it down there because of the kind
That's
of.
why you should get tested.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I haven't been. A lot of the guys have gone that have wives and kids and, you know, live with elderly parents. I live alone, and I'm very social, but I kind of self-isolate anyway.
Yeah, but you're among those people in that jail. That's
Yeah.
one of the worst places you can be.
It is, but here's the saving grace of 850. Everybody that's in there now has been in there since before this thing hit the street. And
okay. That's a good thing there.
That is a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a silver lining, but I was sick before Christmas, bad. And I really want to get the antibody test, but some of these medical people say, hey, it's not a real, it's not on zero yet of what it is. So
did you have any feeling that you're going to be sick or something?
I tell you what, I got sick before Christmas and I lost my sense of smell and taste. I couldn't drink coffee.
Oh, well, that's one of the symptoms.
Yeah.
Wow. You probably had it.
You have the antibodies, I bet.
Well, I'd like to go get it, but at the end of the meeting, I'll tell you kind of one of the things they're closing the jail I work at, and I'll fill you in on that. But they sent us to patrol, so we've been going to the COVID hotels where they're, and that's a whole other story.
Oh man!
Oh my goodness!
So
I was wondering where all those homeless people were.
We'll talk about it at the end, but so I am going to get tested. And I really would like an antibody test, but the word I've got, it's a push. It doesn't mean anything, apparently.
Yeah.
And one of the healthcare people I talked to said, "Oh yeah, everyone thinks they had it." And then I told her kind of my backstory, and she didn't say anything. So, you know, I'll just wait and just be safe, and that's about it. I think that's all any of us can do.
And they said that, you know, there was that ship where the guy got, the captain of the ship got booted off.
Yeah.
Theodore Roosevelt, the aircraft carrier.
And then they've had 14 of the ones that had the virus get reinfected.
Yeah.
So they don't know if the test was wrong or what.
Yeah, that's it. And
sort of a crapshoot.
This is a strange virus now. We don't know anything.
A
strange virus.
A buddy of mine, his brother died.
Oh.
He was pretty old. He was in his 90s, but he said it attacked the internal organs. He didn't have any problems with the lungs, but it was like the liver and his heart and things like that. So you never know how it's going to affect different people.
Yeah.
So, well, moving on to a happier subject.
Yeah.
Hey, the good news is none of us have it, right?
No.
Not that I know of.
Not that I know. Yeah. I've got the same thing with us at work. Everybody at work got deathly ill at the end of December and the beginning of January. And a couple guys had to go and get respirator, what do you call those, inhalers? And
yes.
Yeah.
they had pneumonia and, you know, so you just never know. So we still got about $1,500 we can give away. And one of the things I was thinking about was maybe like the San Francisco Marin Food Bank. They're down on Pennsylvania Street, you know, right around Cesar Chavez. And what they do is provide food to people. They don't have regular meals, but it's, you know, they have sacks of potatoes and, you know, all sorts of food. It varies. That might be a thought.
May I say something about San Francisco, the Marin Food bank, we've done free giveaways with them. When they bring all kinds of vegetables and fruit, and we line it up outside, and people come in and just get as much as they want, and it's all free.
Oh, okay.
They're
Oh,
really
good.
nice. They're very generous.
Okay.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
What about any veterans or military services that people that had come back that might have a club within the neighborhood? Do you know where to
Hello?
get those information?
Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
Sharon.
Sharon.
Something, I'm trying to talk, but you guys aren't answering me.
We
Can you
didn't
hear
hear
me?
you.
No, we didn't hear you, Sharon. I'm sorry.
We didn't hear you earlier. Now we hear you.
I want to make a pitch again this year for $200 for the National Night Out for the police.
Excellent.
That's going to be held in October this year.
I see no problem with that whatsoever.
Yeah, I second that.
What are you making of? What is it for?
It's called National Night Out. It's a national program that's run throughout the country, and people get together with their local police station and have an event that brings the police and the community together.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
We've supported that for the last 2 years, Bob.
All right.
Yeah.
When we go to the board meeting, we'll vote on that.
Yeah.
I'll send some information to Lyle or whoever you want me to send it to, and then they can send it out to the membership.
Okay. One small, it's not really a correction, but a clarification, George. We actually have $8,387 that we can give.
Well, you
All of
forgot
the
about the George Soleil Benevolence.
Yeah.
The foundation.
And it's
Retirement fund.
the reason I say that is you said it previously that these are strange times. And even though in our budget we have allocated for these various organizations, this is not written in stone. If we might
Yes.
want to make a left-hand turn and give all the money to somebody else, we can do that. We are not locked in. We have no promises to anybody as far as what money is given to whom. Okay? That these are simply things that are in the budget. Just because it's in the budget doesn't make it so. I just want to emphasize that. In case somebody's thinking outside the box, like the food bank, I would support that entirely. But, we can rejigger everything. Just want to say that. That's all. It opens up a lot of possibilities.
Well, what would we all like to concentrate on as far as donations? What would be, like for me, food banks is one of the top ones, Clinic by the Bay. Those are the two ones that I'm really, passionate about. But Diamond and Prayer, I don't know.
That fights cancer research.
Right.
That's what that goes for. And although $250 is not a lot, it's something. I'm not advocating for or against. I'm just saying
Right.
This is what the money goes for.
Sharon, what groups in the Excelsior Barbiola do you think that they might need some money? Are there specific groups in our neighborhood?
Good.
Yeah.
I don't know of any food programs in our area.
Doesn't have to be food, but I like to keep some of that in our neighborhood.
That I agree with.
Well, right now, you know, there are a lot of businesses that are suffering. You know, people that had childcare in their homes, they can't do that. So I mean, there are a lot of small businesses that are suffering. But I don't know if any community programs. I can ask around, but I don't offhand. I don't know of any community programs that right now are asking for donations.
Can I make a
I'll check.
suggestion here? Make a suggestion. Why does everybody think about it when we come to our board meeting next month?
Agreed.
Yeah, come up with some, and we'll go over it there.
Yeah, what I was hoping we'd do tonight was just sort of throw some things on the wall so that you can think about it over the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, think about it next couple of weeks and bring it to the board meeting so we can vote on it.
Right.
Are we gonna ask people to like send a presentation or something since they can't come in person?
Yeah, it's
We've
even
done
more.
that in the past.
Through Zoom.
It'd be more beneficial. The guy came in person.
Well, I can send you,
Not in person.
I can send stuff for a clinic by the bay. We have a lot of data, a lot of reports, brochures. If
Well, this is fun here.
it would be nice if Dr. Goldschmidt could talk to you to tell you what we do. You know, we do really take care of a lot of sick people, and we somehow manage to keep them well. You know, they have high sugar rates, they have high blood pressure, they don't take their medication consistently, or they can't afford their medication, and we try every which way to get it for them. You know,
I think we're comfortable with Clinic by the Bay.
okay, okay.
I was thinking more about that. What's that youth group that came to one meeting and asked for a donation, but then they never came back?
Teen Challenge,
Challenge.
thinking about
That's it.
What about Balboa? How does everybody feel about that? I mean,
Yeah, where's that money go?
Well, that's what we need to have somebody, if we can do it on Zoom, have somebody join us on Zoom and, you know, straighten that out, because we don't know where their money's going and what it's being used for.
Yeah.
Especially since it's.
I'll be glad to send Emily Powell an email bringing this to her attention and to see if she could participate in our Zoom meeting next month in June, the first meeting in June, to talk about how the money's being spent at Balboa.
Not to stir the pot too terribly much, but Bill brought up asking, do we know any groups in the Excelsior that we can donate to? How many people, I don't know if all the people here have gone to our website. On the home page or the main page of our website, there's a map of San Francisco divided by districts.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. And in the late 90s, we merged with the Mission Lions Club. And we took on or absorbed their service area, or what would be considered their service area. And there are 7 or 8 districts that we now cover, including Potrero Hill, the Mission District, Burnell Heights, Portola, Excelsior, Visitation Valley, and Crocker Amazon.
Well, they probably have needs on those districts that we never even looked at.
Yes, and
Well, I know that Visitation and Bayview, they have a lot of their own organizations.
Well, there's tons of organizations.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to illustrate that we have more than just the Excelsior to talk about.
Oh, yeah. I
But the
agree.
Bayview has a club. The Lions have a club in the Bayview.
That's why Bayview Hunters Point is blocked out of the map.
Okay.
Okay, because they have the Bayview Hunters Point Lions Club.
Yeah.
And other areas have Lions clubs as well. Even though the Mission District has some Hispanic clubs, I don't know if those clubs are very effective at all.
Lions, are they Lions clubs?
Oh yes, largely, by and large, they're Hispanic Lion clubs.
There's one in the Mission?
What was
When
that?
did this happen?
When did what happen?
The Mission Lions Club.
The Mission Lions Club. We absorbed the Mission Lions Club.
No, you're saying there's a club in the Mission.
No,
Lions Club in the Mission.
There's
Where?
several
I know
clubs
there's a Castro Lions Club.
There's several clubs in the Mission, Bob. They're primarily Hispanic. There's the Hispanic Lions Club, and there's at least 2 or 3 others.
In the Mission.
Yes.
There's one in the heart of the Excelsior. One of those Spanish clubs is in the heart of our neighborhood.
Yes.
Really?
That's not, it's not a functioning Lions Club.
Oh, okay.
That used to be one of my clubs a couple years ago when I was region chair. And it's a family operated Lions Club, and that's, you know, they're more or less they're not active. But I have a question for Lyle. On that map that you said had lines on it, were those the supervisorial lines?
They're just traditional San Francisco districts.
I mean neighborhoods.
Yes.
Neighborhoods.
Yes.
I wouldn't consider Bernal Heights in that area in our, you know.
Since we merged with the Mission Lions Club, it's our area.
It is. That'd be our area.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd like to add that when we merged, the Mission Lions Club had a considerable balance in their treasury.
Yeah.
And that got merged into our own treasury. So we kind of made a commitment to serve the greater Mission District by taking on that balance that they had.
There was a substantial amount of money they gave us. You remember how much? About 30 grand or?
It was, I think it was just short of $30,000.
Yeah.
We've since burnt through all of that, but nevertheless, let me share my screen, which will show the map. I don't know how many of you have seen this. I'll just do it very quickly. This is the map I'm speaking about. As you can see, it's almost the entire southwest portion or southeast portion of San Francisco.
Yeah.
Other than the Bayview Hunters Point. So
Those 2 or 3 supervisorial districts you're showing there.
what was
That
that?
covers the Potrero and all of those. That's in District 9, the supervisorial district.
We don't care about
Maybe
supervisors.
Well, but I'm just saying those are huge areas.
Yes, it's huge.
Yeah.
And I agree it's huge. And we really haven't paid a lot of attention to that area at all, to be very honest with you.
I don't think there are any clubs over there.
The Mission Club was there. That's why we're there now.
I know, but I do not think that there is a Lions Club currently in the Mission District.
I understand that. I understand exactly what you're saying.
But that's
We are that club.
Yeah,
That-
Sharon,
that
that's
area.
within the Mission District
Yeah.
that was assumed by
Oh, well.
Geneva.
Well, you know what, guys, I have a whole list of all kinds of organizations at work that do community work, so I can share some of that list with you.
Yeah.
Good.
And
Excellent.
2 weeks from now is when our board meeting is approximately. And between now and then, there's not going to be anything that's going to be done with any list or any additional outreach.
Yeah.
At least I don't think there would be. I don't think most of the people here are active in the club.
Yep.
I don't know how much time anybody is willing to spend or put an effort into finding additional people that we can give money to be quite honest with you.
Well,
We can talk about it, but I don't think it's going to happen.
What about
You
giving,
bring it up, so let's wait and see what happens.
I agree.
I think the thing we want to do is give the money to where it'll give the biggest bang and help the most people.
Mm,
I could agree.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly.
Now, yeah, right now that's in the food business.
yeah.
I know, let's all prepay some dinners and then,
We can get a lot of restaurant credit cards, gift cards. La
Good.
Traviata sounds like a good place.
yeah, right. But yeah, I'm glad I'm not in the food business. That is terrible. I mean,
Yeah, I have some restaurants as clients, and you're right. But what is the status of the club? I know they're handing things down the stairs and into a car. What do we see? Think about it for the next meeting. What do we see? Will we have a location where we can meet at least once a month?
Bob, we have to wait for this to play itself out.
yeah. It's too early to be talking about meeting, together. It's too early. You don't know what's going to happen when the rains come back in the winter.
well, hopefully we'll be able to go out to eat before then.
Well, when the
You know, a sunny day in
They
July.
have to go to Napa.
There you go.
Yeah, they're open. Yeah.
when the usual flu season starts is when this might come back.
Those are things we don't know. We'll cross that when we get there. But
Yeah.
so in the meantime, we can do this, and if we
Yeah.
want to eat some, we can always do a picnic someplace where we can sit 6 feet apart.
Good idea.
We'll need a bunch of bullhorns because I think we're all hard of hearing.
Well, if you saw Dolores Park today, they went in and they drew circles, all distantly apart. So you
Right.
can now go in there and sit in the circle.
And you don't really think that's going to work, do you? They're not
No.
going to pay attention to that.
I think we'll figure out a way.
Yeah.
Do we have any other
Oh,
business?
Pretty much that was it.
How do you people feel about the thought that I threw out there about asking Emily Powell to sit in on one of our Zoom meetings and tell us what's going on at Balboa?
Yeah.
I think it's a good
I
idea.
would.
That's good.
Yeah.
Is that
Good.
okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yes.
Joe, I remember one time we bought the baseball team uniforms, and then I think the marching the people in ROTC, we bought them some uniforms, but I don't know what's going on lately with the.
Well, let's find out. Let's get Emily in and find out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine that's pretty tough for the schools now. I mean, they cut the school year short and we don't know what school's going to be like
Yeah. Yeah.
in September.
Yep.
There's word I heard on the street that they're talking about making it, you do school by going on computer, Zoom thing.
Yeah.
Which
That's what they're doing. Yeah.
I know that would be terrible for a guy like me,
Yeah.
They're doing that now, George.
we'd find a way, have a little head bobbling up and down. I'm here. All right. Let's see. So hopefully we'll have a guest speaker next meeting, and the convention raffle. We're not doing that. Attendance raffle. I didn't drop by the Italian American Club and see if I could pick up the little,
Capitals.
yeah. So I guess if there's nothing else, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
But it was so nice to see everyone.
Yeah.
Hey,
See you all.
I
see you
agree.
soon.
I agree.
See you soon.
It's good to see everybody. Thank you.
Stay safe.
Be safe and be well.
Well, Lyle, I missed your dog.
He was here a few minutes ago, but he was busy.
Who's there?
My dog,
Oh,
Kevin.
well, tell him good night for me, Lyle.
I will. What do you think of the meeting, Bob?
I like it.
Netch?
I like it.
That's
How about you,
good.
Bill? What do you think?
I think it's very good, yeah.
Good.
So we'll see
Is
you in the
it any different than the regular meeting?
Hello?
No.
I want
There's no line.
You don't have to park your car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's the best.
All right, Lyle.
Yes, Mark.
Everybody, see you later.
Okay.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Lyle,
Night.
are you
Bye.
after meeting place or no?
Hey, if you want to talk, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
We can go as long as you want.
Perfect.
Weren't you going to say something about your adventures at work?
Oh, no, I wanted to thank Lyle and the club for the check that we donated for the PPE for
Yeah.
our sheriff's department.
Okay.
That you missed that meeting, Viella. Sorry,
Yeah.
but Bob brought that up, and we donated it to her right away. So it was a good thing.
Yeah. And also, we're doing patrol now around town, the sheriff's
Oh, really?
office.
Right.
And we have the city's contracted these vacant hotels and motels and all over town. A lot on Lombard, the Wickham down on Market Street. And they're housing people there that
Right. And there's demands from the homeless advocates to get more rooms.
yeah, I think on one level they're using this crisis to get things. And I'm always skeptical because there's always people taking advantage.
What's
But
that, Bob?
it's my clock, my real clock.
It's time to do something, Bob.
No,
It's running a little fast.
it's good. And one of these hotels, it wasn't your young street drunks or drug addicts. It was just really vulnerable people that somehow fell off the truck somewhere, and everything they owned was in plastic trash bags, and they were being admitted to the hotels, and the social workers there were helping them and giving them the rules that they can't have any visitors. If they leave for more than 48 hours, they lose their room. They can bring their dogs. They were searching their stuff. And, a lot of these people were just regular folk. So I was able to see that firsthand. And it kind of changed the way I think about things as far as that.
Did they seem to have good positive attitudes, or were they a little belligerent?
No, they weren't belligerent at all. And maybe that's because we were there, but the people working there, the workers were incredibly humane, compassionate, and civil to these people. And so that was a good thing. So I'm sure within this whole envelope of people getting rooms, there's folks that came down from Oregon. Oh, wow, we're getting a room. But hey, it's a room. You know, they'll figure out that it's not a party.
Right.
So,
But it's free.
yeah, it is free. It is what it is. But
Well, they get
They're
them out of the cold.
yeah,
But I heard that, what about the people who are addicted to drugs? Are they housing them in hotel rooms?
thankfully, I didn't have to deal with them. And they may be
Okay.
down on Market Street, and you know, but the thing is, they're not allowed to drug in the hotels, from what I'd heard. And, but they've got sheriff's deputies posted at all these hotels, the one on Market Street, and they just check in on the motels on Lombard. That's what I did last Friday. So it runs the whole gamut. Some are senior places, just for whatever reason. These folks can't quarantine at home. They're COVID positive or things like that. So I didn't want to get a whole lot of information, but I was able to talk to the people there. And, so it's kind of interesting. You have to do something, and I'm glad something's being done.
Mm-hmm.
That's about my takeaway. And
An attempt in the right direction.
yeah, step in the right direction. Very human. And
Yeah.
when I got home to my place that I'm in right now, I had to thank my lucky stars.
Yeah.
Wasn't in that situation for a variety of reasons.
I sometimes think that this thing that is happening all over the world is an opportunity to, I know opportunity is a cliche, but to realize what's really important, what really matters, you know, not so much the material, but just like the basic stuff and your relationships. I miss my grandkids. I miss them. I'm homesick for my grandkids, you know, but I'm happy that I have a place, I have food, you know.
Yeah.
I think those are all great things. But in a larger picture across the country, I feel very badly for all the people who are going places and they've all fallen off the map.
Yeah.
All the small business guys that
Oh yeah.
have, and it's not just the next few months where they perhaps are able to reopen or whatever. This is going to be an impact that's going to be felt for years.
Yes.
And not to mention the $10 trillion spent by the government. How long is that going to take to pay back?
Well, we're never going to pay back anything. It's impossible.
Well, that's.
I'm worried about inflation, you know.
Yeah. So I don't know, you're too young to remember when interest rates for a mortgage was like 12 and 15%.
I remember those days.
Okay. I mean,
we're all of that vintage.
I remember.
It was in the 70s.
You know,
a lot of us have aged a little longer than you.
Yeah. That was, you know, where, yeah. So the houses didn't cost as much, but the interest rates were enormous.
Yes.
So high. I would never imagine that it would be like 2%.
That was in the late 70s, early
70s, yeah.
70s.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, good night, everybody.
Yeah, good night, everybody.
Good night. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night,
Have a
Sid.
Good night, Billy.
Yeah.
Good night, Bob.
Bye.
Everybody.
Good
All right.
Lyle.
Thank you, Lyle.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, well done again.
Okay,
Lyle.
everybody done?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
What say the brethren out there, Bill?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. I'll just go ahead and end the meeting for everybody and say good night.
He's gonna pull the plug on us, huh?
Buonasera. Good night.
Buonasera.
Okay,
Thank-
good night, guys.
Good night.
Have a good one.